Chicago Stadium, you're looking at the scene in the Pittsburgh Penguins dressing room. They are the 1992 Stanley Cup champions. Northwest Airlines brings you the scoring summary for tonight's game. It began with a goal by Jaromir Jagr with an assist to Troy Loney at 1:37 of the opening period. And then three quick ones. Dirk Graham tied it at 6:21. Kevin Stevens untied it at 6:33. And in the span of 30 seconds, Dirk Graham had replied for Chicago. We were tied 2-2. Then Mario Lemieux on a power play goal got Pittsburgh in front, and Graham tied it up before the period ended. In the second period, Tocchet for Pittsburgh, Roenick for Chicago. And we were tied 4-4 going to the third. Two quick ones by the Penguins. Larry Murphy from Tocchet. Francis got the game winner, and then Roenick finished it off. And 29 shots apiece, the total for tonight as we check for Northwest Airlines. And wasn't this a tremendous scene? The mentor and the student, Scotty Bowman and Mike Keenan. Let's join Mike Emery.
Time for the presentation of the Conn Smythe Trophy. Same guys here, same guys here. Mr. Ziegler, you know how this goes. You're on.
Thank you, Mike. Mario, as our great friend Bob Johnson would have said, it was a great day for hockey.
Yeah, it certainly is. And
your team was outstanding, an outstanding series throughout, and the best of the best was you. Once again, congratulations for being the 1992 Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Well done, Mario.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The first shift of the second period seemed to tell us an awful lot about what you decided to do with this game. You grabbed a hold, and all of a sudden you were the dominant figure as you had been in the course of this. Was there anything special said down in the locker room after the first period when you were tied 3-3? Because it seemed to change everything.
Well, we didn't play that well in the first period. We gave up a couple goals that were a little bit soft, and we had to play a lot better defensively. We didn't forecheck as well as we wanted to early in the game to put the pressure on their D, and that's what we talked about, and come out and try to put a little more pressure on them.
So much for the hockey game. Now, you brought your parents in. Did you have a premonition about how this was going to work out?
Well, I did the same thing last year in Minnesota, and every time you have a chance to win a Stanley Cup, I think you should have your parents with you and your brothers, and they're all here.
We congratulate you. We know you want to get with your teammates. All the best to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And he's headed to Plain St. Andrews, I hear.
Yeah, I'm going to Scotland next week.
Okay. Congratulations, congratulations. Thank you, John A. Ziegler Jr. Let's go down to John Davidson and Ulf Samuelsson.
Thanks very much, Mike. Of course, Mario Lemieux wins the Conn Smythe. Ulf, congratulations, first of all. You saw a lot of Jaromir Roenick in this series.
Yeah, that was my job this series, and you know, he's one of the top players in the league, and it's an honor to play against a guy like that.
Take us back a long ways back to the Washington series. Your team was taking a lot of penalties, and so were you. And all of a sudden, things changed. Why and how?
Well, I think I had three coaches screaming at me every time I came back to the bench. You know, don't take any stupid penalties, and I did take some stupid ones, but smartened up in the right time, and I think the whole team did, and we started playing a little better defensively, and I think that won us for us.
Paul Stanton was your defense mate most of the playoffs, and especially in this series. Why did you guys click so well?
Well, Paul and I, we played a lot last year, and for some reason we got away from each other this year, but we got back now in the playoffs, and Paul is just a great player to play with. He reads off me great.
Your team was able to change well during play, on the road especially, with Pierre Maguire and Scotty Bowman running the bench.
Yeah, Scotty's still alive. He's still alive and kicking, you know. He's a good coach.
All right, congratulations. Go celebrate, have a good time.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. Oh, got Larry Murphy with us. Larry, congratulations. Another Stanley Cup. This has been a long year for you. How does this feel?
Oh, it feels great. Once you get a taste of it once, you want it again. It's sweeter every time. It's fantastic. Everything worked out great. I can't believe we won it 4 straight. I mean, Hawks played very well, but we found a way to win. I guess that's the bottom line.
You played for Mike Keenan in the Canada Cup. You won that thing, and now you go against Mike Keenan and you beat him.
Yeah, well, those are the breaks. I mean, Blackhawks were unfortunate that they had to play the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Your team was able to win defensively. It was able to win the shootouts.
Well, that's what it takes. You just can't play one game. You can't be a defensive team or you can't be an offensive team. You got to be able to do it both because you just never know what kind of character the game's going to take. As showed tonight, it was wide open. We're able to match their goal for goal, except we got the extra one.
Before the game started, were you able to sense that Mario was going to have a big one?
Clutch time, you knew it was coming. I mean, it was obvious. That's why we felt we had a real great shot, because he was going to be charged up. Of course, Tommy's been playing great for us. We just wanted it. Everybody got a taste of it, wanted to finish it off, and we squeaked it out.
Congratulations.
Thanks, JD.
Good luck to you.
Thanks, Ben.
Paul. Come on over here, Paul. Congratulations on just another Stanley Cup. You had to battle a lot. You had Opie Samuelson as your partner.
Yeah, well, it was exciting to win in 4 straight, and Ope played great, and we played both styles. We played defensive, and then we played offensive.
How was your team able to adjust to that so well?
Well, we got a good offensive team, and once you give those guys some opportunities, they really enjoy that. And I think whatever style they wanted to play, we were fortunate.
We were watching the game tonight. There was a couple of times when the bench was going at it because of some line changes that didn't seem to click. Was it hot on the bench? Was there a lot of tempers flaring and such?
I don't think there was a lot of tempers, but there was the most tension that there had been all the series, maybe the whole playoffs. It's tough, you know, the game. You don't want to give them any life because if they win that, it's going to be tough. So we just kind of wanted to get it over with as quick as possible.
All right, congratulations again.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, Mike.
He must have heard the good news. Molson's 35-year history with the NHL is going to continue. Molson, bringing you Sports Channel America's exciting NHL coverage.
Multiple cups with 2 different teams. Only one active player has. He's with John Davidson.
All right, thanks, Mike. 7 finals this guy's been in. 6 times you've won. What a record.
I love this thing. I love this thing. I love these guys, John, I'll tell you. But there's 4 people at home. I just want to say hello to John, my wife, Nikki, Brian Jr., Lindsay and Taylor. Love you guys. Anybody who's at the house, the sisters came over every time, said their prayers with us. It was great. Thanks.
You've been around winners all your life. What's so special about this team?
This team has a group of talented players, but they're a group of guys that seem to dedicate themselves, not only for themselves, but for each other. There's a common bond in here before the start of each game, and we felt it swell right through the playoffs. It just got stronger and stronger and stronger. Mario's the leader. Kevin will make you believe in yourself. Tommy just closes the door. We got a lot of guys in here that deserve a lot of credit.
You seem very well prepared for all the games. You adjusted well throughout the series.
I think that's a credit to the coaching staff for preparing us. I also think that all the players deserve a great deal of credit. You know, it's the defense especially. They did their job, you know, to help Tommy and get the puck up to the forwards. Everyone deserves. Craig Patrick deserves a lot of credit.
And so do you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hey, you gonna be back?
Yes! Absolutely.
All right. We've got the head coach, Scotty Bowman. Scotty, congratulations. It's been a long time since 1979. I remember that year pretty well.
Well, actually, 19 years ago with Montreal, we won my first cup with the Canadians, and another shootout. It was 6-4. But this is a great hockey game tonight.
You came in here a moment ago. I was able to talk to you, and you said, "What a game! What a game!" That had to be thrilling to be involved with that.
Well, you know, John, you played goal, and Dominic Hasek, we didn't know much about him. We had so many chances it seemed, to put the game away. They kept coming back. You have to give credit to Chicago. We knew they wouldn't go down. I mean, 3 games by a goal, and the other game by 2 goals. Hardly a difference in the 2 teams, except we had the big shooters.
You mentioned 19 years ago. It wasn't long after that your first son was born, and you named him?
Yeah, and he's here tonight.
And you named him?
Yeah, he was born in Stanley. Yeah, he thought his name was Stanley Cup. His name is Stanley Glenn, after Glenn Hall.
All right. Now, throughout this series, you constantly were able to get matchups kind of the way you wanted. You had defense pairing on Ronick's line most of the time. How were you able to pull that off all the time?
Well, the players knew who we wanted out there. We had to change on the fly a lot. We didn't get as many tonight. I think we kind of threw it by the wayside because Chicago made a good adjustment. They split up both Ronick and Larmer. So I was always concerned about Jeremy Ronick because, you know, he got a couple of goals tonight and he missed the tying goal by just a small margin. And boy, to have guys like Larmer and Ronick, the way our team checked them, was a great tribute.
I got to ask you, are you going to be behind the bench next year with Pittsburgh?
Craig and I are going to sit down. I guess I'm going to be like, I'd like to be like Chuck Daly and Pat Riley. So I'm open now.
Congratulations, Scotty. Good luck. By the way, if you need an agent, Mike Emmerich's ready, right, Mike?
You're absolutely right. I'd be glad to take that. Well, Daly and Riley are dressed a little more resplendently than Scotty right now, but he's certainly got to be happy with the T-shirt he's wearing that says champion. Not everybody can be a champion. There has to be a losing team, too. Bill Clement is down with one of the Blackhawks.
Brent Sutter, an obvious, a difficult time. Maybe you could give us your thoughts on the series.
Well, they played very well, and you got to give them credit. We came into the series, we were pretty fired up, and could have been very well, a 3-1 lead for us after the 2 games at home, and the first game we lost there, and that's all hindsight now. We lost to a better hockey team right now.
Is there anything you could have done differently looking back at it now?
Well, I suppose that there's always stuff that I suppose as things go on here that we'll look back and wish we could have did a little bit differently, and losing that first game was a tough one. We were leading like we were with 3 goals and losing it like we did. It was hard to lose, but it's tough, but we dug in and we just never quite had enough.
Congratulations on a great year.
Well, it's no one ever remembers the losers. They only remember the winners, and Pittsburgh's the winner right now, but everyone gave it their best shot in here.
Thanks, Brent.
Emotion and integrity and commitment. Emotion, integrity, and commitment. 3 things that describe Brent Sutter, and you've just had a chance to hear from him. Back down to the happy locker room now, and this may wind up being an international collection of languages. We're not sure what John Davidson will do with this.
Thanks, Mike. I promised Jaromir I would not ask him difficult questions. You played in the Canada Cup. It was disappointing for your country and your team, but now, much happiness.
It was a disappointment, but we have so young team in Canada Cup. But we win Stanley Cup right now. I'm very happy. This is a great feeling. Went to Stanley Cup again, second year. It was so long season. I am happy season is over again.
Jaromir, are you a better hockey player now than you were 1 year ago?
Yeah, I think so. I am 1 year older. I have more experience.
Yes, and now your mom was here. Your mother enjoyed this?
Over there, yeah, my dad is here. They come to the final. I think they enjoy it. I hope so.
Okay, hold on one sec. We've got Mario Lemieux here, the Conn Smythe winner, with his buddy Jaromir. Camera's right over here, Mario.
Right there.
Congratulations. You seem to just jack it up a notch. You needed this one, huh?
Well, I have to keep up with this young guy. And, he's made some great plays for us. He scored some big goals in playoffs, and he's going to be the best one day. Right here.
You think he's?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah. He must be finished with hockey.
You mean you'll be best when he finishes?
I hope so.
Mario, you jacked it up. I guess you brought your family in again. Last time you did that was against Minnesota last year, and you closed them out.
Yeah, I think it's important every time you have a chance to win a cup. I think it should be with your family and your brothers, and that's what I did again this year. When we won Game 3, we knew we had a chance to win Game 4, and they're all here.
What's so special about this team? I know skill-level players like Jaromir, but what's so special about it? What makes it a champion?
Well, I think we have a lot of talent, first of all, but we work together, and our defense once again came up big at the right time, and that's how we won the cup last year, and once again this year that's how we won it.
How underrated are they?
What's that?
How underrated are the defensemen on this team?
Very underrated. You look at Murphy and Gordy Roberts has been playing forever. He's getting better. Samuelson, all these guys, Stanton. They're playing great, and
Are you going to go to the rules meetings in June and try and be involved with that situation?
Well, if I have a chance, certainly I'd like to be there and share my thoughts with the president and try to make the game a lot better than it is right now.
Well, you two players make this game a whole lot better. Congratulations to both of you. Wonderful job. You're carrying the league very well. Okay, back to you, Mike.
The spray of champagne, but about 10 minutes before that, more memories, indelible ones, being made as the cup hoisted out on the ice. Stadium, only one segment of it is really noisy. John Davidson was just down there, a very quiet segment that we're in, this part of the Chicago Blackhawks part. Mike Keenan, general manager and coach, has politely joined us here following this. Mike, your thoughts, put them into words right now. Well, it's painful, obviously, to come this far and lose, but on the other hand, I'm very, very proud of our organization and our team. The players come together from a long distance back from the first part of the year to this point. They came together extremely well in the playoffs, and we have to be very, very proud of what we accomplished. We're appreciative of what we were able to do in terms of building the team, and we reached the point where we played a team that was just quite simply better than us. And our congratulations goes out to Craig Patrick, the ownership, Scotty Bowman, his coaching staff, the entire support staff, but in particular the players on the Penguins team. They came back from some tough situations. They battled back against Washington. They went on a roll, and when we met them, they were hungry to win again. And I know there's some players in that club that I've coached, many of them. I think that Rick Tocchet was the most inspirational, emotional leader that they had, and they fed off his hungriness to win the cup. And I know how he could drive a team, and he was a big part of our success in Philadelphia, and certainly my success coaching him and coaching Canada Cup. And Mario is the best player in the world, and he proved it again this time round. He was a dominant force in this particular series. He's won Canada Cups. I've had the privilege of coaching he and Rick and a number of the other players in that club, and they were full measure for the victory.
I know the first professional championship you won was in Rochester. Scotty Bowman has won some NHL championships too, and I think the one picture, one of several that remains indelible in our minds already, is the two of you congratulating one another after. What was said?
Well, I just give Scotty a hug and said that I'm proud of him. He's a great hockey man. He's a great bench manager, probably the best in the game, or the history of the game. He handles his bench so well. He's a tough coach to coach against. He had his team prepared. They played extremely well defensively, and that's really a tribute to their coaching staff. They have tremendous offensive skills and tremendous offensive people. To have them play like that after taking over an extremely difficult situation, I'm very proud of him, achieving yet another Stanley Cup, and he has to be congratulated, and that's exactly what I said to him off the from the bottom of my heart and the top of my head at that time.
Mike, thanks very much for joining us here.
Thanks very much, Michael.
Mike Keenan, general manager coach of the Chicago Blackhawks. Dominic Hasek had a splendid game coming on in relief in this contest, and he has our Docker save of the game tonight. You get to see it once more. He actually stopped Mario Lemieux 3 times in this contest. Well, you talk about promise for the future, that guy sure has it. Into the locker room again, and John Davidson.
All right, thanks, Mike. I've got the big redhead from Southern Alberta, Troy Loney. You told me a moment ago the second time around's even sweeter.
It's, you can sit back and you can take in everything that's going on around you, and it's just unbelievable. You know what to look for, it's great.
Oh, you don't remember the first one that much?
I remember bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember it being this great. I can't say enough for the guys in our team. Just great efforts all the time. Whenever we needed somebody to step up, they did. It was just great.
You're one of the bigger players, one of the grinders on the team. Halfway through the Washington series, your team collectively seemed to get your act together on the ice and stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, that was the thing. In the playoffs, the best thing you can do to somebody is shake their hand at the end and with a cut in your face and say, yeah, we won. We're going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's what we did.
All right, congratulations. Well done. Got Ronnie Francis here, who game-winning goal. Stanley Cup final. That had to be exciting. Got Tom Barrasso with him. Boy, I'll tell you what. Congratulations to both of you guys. You didn't get a chance to relax tonight, did you?
No, it was a regular season game for us tonight, the way we played defensively. That's what you see during the regular season, a couple tap-ins and a rebound on a breakaway. So it was a different style to start, but the result was what we needed.
Now, that doesn't seem to bother you too much. You expect with a high-scoring team that sometimes it's going to be like a river hockey game.
No, I think when we were tied 4-4 with 1 period to play, I think we felt very confident. If they wanted to exchange rushes with us, we felt as though we could beat them almost any day.
Ronnie, tell us about how wonderful the game winner was.
Well, it was certainly nice. It was a tight game at the time, a 1-goal game, and I got the 2-on-1 and went down with Sean, and all night, they seemed to be playing me for the pass, and I just kind of looked them off and was able to shoot a short side and give us a 2-goal lead. I'll take it anytime, especially a Stanley Cup winner.
Your journal, your diary you keep. What'd you put in there before tonight's game?
The first thing was realize the importance of the game, not to let the Hawks back in the series, make sure we finished it tonight. And I think that was really the theme throughout, regardless of the score. We felt, just keep pressing forward, not take a step backwards, and obviously that's what we did.
Your knee. You've had a bad knee since February. I understand maybe surgery's in order?
Well, we had some torn cartilage. We'll have to get it operated on probably the next couple of days. But, you know, we made the decision back then. It wasn't bothering me that much. It wasn't locking. And we said that, you know, if we take the surgery, then we'll be out 3 weeks, and we couldn't afford it. So we decided to play as long as we could. And just fortunately, we wrapped it up in 4. I don't know how much longer I could go.
What's so special about your team? How come you guys win? I know you have the greatest player in the world in Mario, but you're a very tight team.
Well, I think we've been through a lot together, losing our coach last year. The development of our team last year through the playoffs is really what has allowed us to be successful this year. Throughout everything that's always happened, our players have always stuck together. We've never had any arguing, never had any bitching in the locker room, and I think we've always gone together, done things together, and really cared about how each individual was doing, and I think that's what really has given us the edge.
Ronnie?
I don't think you can say it any better than what Tommy just said, can you? I mean, just a super bunch of guys. Not much, you know, no jealousy at all. The guys all hang together, get out together, and he said we've been through a lot as a hockey club, and just a ton of character in the soccer room that really comes out in series like this.
I'll certainly agree with you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Have a nice
JD.
summer. Kevin Stevens, step in here with us. With those raccoon eyes. The price.
I don't sleep anyway, so.
Is that from sleeping? And Rick Tockett. A couple of big boys here. Camera's right behind you there. Guys, Rick, I guess for you, it's your first one.
I remember February 19th, I got traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it turned my life around. And Kevin Stevens took me in. I was like,
took him in.
Took me in.
Take him anywhere.
I was over at his house every day for, thanks Suzanne for cooking dinners for me. And I'll tell you what, these guys are unbelievable, JD.
When you came to this team, all of a sudden you realize you're with a champion who had a chance to win again. Is there a special winning attitude here?
Well, these guys, it's a funny thing. I've never been a part of a team where, you know, they win or they lose. They got that even keel. You know, they respect that, you know, that winning and losing feeling. And you know, we've lost close games and nobody's devastated here. We've won games and nobody's really high. It's just amazing how we keep that even keel.
You guys saw a lot of Chris Chelios in this series. You two battled nose to nose. I imagine you have good words to say about Chelly, huh?
He's a great player. You know, he's one of the guys that he never quits. He's out there 40 minutes a game, wherever he is. He played against me, Talk, and Mario, and you know, we've worked pretty well together all the way through the playoffs and all the way through the year. And Talk came in. He looked like he's been with us for 2 or 3 years here. It's been unbelievable. You know, he's a big leader in the locker room, and it's just been a great year. You know, there's times when we've been down, but after that trade and we came through, and you know, what can you say? Our team really played hard.
We got the kid from Boston with his second cup, the kid from Toronto with his first cup. A couple of great players. Congratulations, guys.
Mom, I love you, Dad. I love you guys.
All right, Mike.
Rick Tockett is a happy man tonight. He, as a matter of fact, his parents, I think, at one time used to put a nice red bottle of wine on the bus when he was in junior hockey for Terry Crisp to take. He said that was the way he got on the power play. It's amazing how you can rise up through the ranks. I don't think the bottle of wine had that much to do to it, though. Rick Tockett gets his very first Stanley Cup tonight. Bill Clement is down at the other locker room, the Blackhawks locker room, with a guy who's won this thing twice before, but not tonight, Greg Gilbert.
Greg Gilbert, you've been in a winning situation before with the New York Islanders, and now this is a losing situation. Was there a point, you think, where you could actually see this series slipping away?
Well, I think, you know, not so much slipping away, but the change in momentum, I guess, would have to be probably in the second game. You know, we just couldn't get anything generated. We were starting to get a little frustrated, and you know, the way Pittsburgh was playing, we were starting to lose our confidence. And you know, once things like that happen, it snowballs, and it's really hard to stop. So we fought hard every game. Every game was close. You know, with a few breaks, we could have come out and won a couple of games. But you know, they got a really good hockey club, and they deserve to win it.
When you look back on the season, will it be a positive recollection?
Well, to a certain extent, definitely. I mean, there's nothing better for a hockey player than to win the Stanley Cup. But you know, we had our ups and downs all year, and we fought hard every day. We came to practice and worked hard every day, and you know, we gained a lot of ground. We worked hard as a team, and we did some really good things this year. A lot of positive things. So we'll have some good memories for the summer.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs has not concluded just yet. The highlight of the night you're seeing right there. Second time in 2 years that the Penguins are doing this. Different city this time, though. You up twice. One of those was the winner, and on a power play. Rick Tockett's signature on Game 2. The venue shifted to Chicago Stadium. And in a small ice surface and with a lot of attack by the Chicago Blackhawks, you'd think that there'd be a lot of scoring in this first game.
There wasn't, thanks to Tom Barrasso, who stopped 27 out of 27 in a 1-0 victory and put his signature on the game. This thing was tied going into the third period, but strong at one end of the ice and strong at the other. Larry Murphy wristed one home, his signature on this Game 4, the one that clinched it, and triggered a celebration in the middle of which is John Davidson.
All right, thanks, Mike, once again. Let's get the ownership perspective. Got the Baldwin family here, Karen Howard Baldwin. How sweet is this?
Oh, there's nothing sweeter than this, I'm telling you. It's unbelievable.
It was a very interesting year for you, taking on the team in midstream, trying to put together a package, and now the ultimate.
It was a very interesting year, what with the adversity that this group of guys had, with the strike and with the coaching situation and all that. But these guys proved that they're great, great champions. It's extraordinary what they did.
Sir, will we see changes during the offseason? I think it seems as though the game right now is at a crossroads. There's been a lot of public speculation that we will have management changes, and yet there's other people saying we'll have rule changes. What can we expect?
I think you see a lot of action this summer. I think there's a lot of feeling that we do need some change vis-a-vis the rules, vis-a-vis the fighting and the sticking and all that. I'm a strong advocate of change. We're 1 vote out of 24, but I talked to a lot of the people in the league, and I think they're all in favor of that. So I hope you will see some change. We got a lot of work to do.
I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations to both of you. Welcome to your situation in Pittsburgh. Well done. Congratulations again.
Thanks for the great job you guys did. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Got Gord Roberts right over here. Gordy, step in if you can. Talk about another veteran player. Are you the 35 now, huh? Another Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Asian, 33.
Good feeling?
Yeah, it is a great feeling. Be able to go through this 2 summers in a row is super, and last summer we enjoyed it so much, and I don't know, it's at the end of my career here, it's phasing down. It's a super opportunity to win 2 in a row. I'd like to say hello to my family out there and all the bars across America watching the games.
What's your secret? 17, 18 years pros, kept yourself in great shape.
Yeah, I always take care of myself, everything else. I think playing with a lot of older guys early in my career, I enjoy going to the rink. It's a great lifestyle, and if I can do it for another year, I'll be working hard this summer.
Continued success. Congratulations,
okay,
Gordon.
Thanks, John.
All right, Mike.
It's 99 years old, and it weighs about 35 pounds. Only about 35 ounces the way they're hoisting it around tonight, but they've got adrenaline. That's why. About 4 hours ago, when Wayne Messmer had every set of lungs yelling as loud as it possibly could. Quiet now. Chicago, a proud team, but they did lose in 4 straight to these Pittsburgh Penguins. Always intrigued with what my broadcast partner from Philadelphia has on his mind. Bill Clement, wrap her up.
Well, the period has finally been placed on a hockey season that has really shown the sport having some of its best highs and some of its lowest lows. It really has been a bizarre year. But it ended up on such a positive note for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But from a Chicago Blackhawk perspective, they appeared to be so close, and ultimately were not that close at all. The way the Pittsburgh Penguins won in 4 straight, the Chicago Blackhawks will have to learn the hard way that time is the only thing that will heal the emotional pain that they are feeling right now. And the Pittsburgh Penguins were an organization that couldn't get out of its own way for so many years. Before winning last season, the Penguins didn't even make the playoffs 7 of the previous 8 years. And now under Craig Patrick, having even lost their coach, Bob Johnson, were able to be deep enough to put Scotty Bowman back behind the bench and win another Stanley Cup. The Pittsburgh Penguins, to me, are truly a great hockey organization because they are able to take excellent hockey teams. They did it against the Boston Bruins. They did it against the Chicago Blackhawks and make them appear to be just average. The Chicago Blackhawks are not an average team, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are an outstanding team.
Boy, they capped it off well. Chicago won 11 straight, and the Pittsburgh Penguins 11 straight to finish everything, too. More thoughts? Let's go to John Davidson.
Thanks, Mike. I, too, would like to express my congratulations to both Chicago and to Pittsburgh for getting here. And what a great game this one was tonight. It shows again at the end of a season how great this game can be. It was fast. There was great hitting. There was very little of the other stuff called stick work, and that's something I think that will be addressed this summer. When we have a chance to watch the game the way it was played tonight, there's not a better sporting game on earth. I would like to welcome both Ottawa and Tampa Bay for next season. Hope like crazy both teams do very well. The more expansion, the better they play, the better it is for our game. It was fun being here. Back to you, Mike.
Boy, was it ever, and especially to cap it off this way tonight. Upstairs now to a 25-year veteran of calling all of this, Jiggs McDonald.
Thanks, Mike. I don't know if there's been a more exciting Game 4 and a sweep that we have seen here tonight of this Pittsburgh Penguin team demolishing the Chicago Blackhawks. I think back a little bit further to the youth and exuberance of the Edmonton Oilers and their round with the Los Angeles Kings, and then eventually, of course, eliminating Vancouver. I also think of that game that I watched on television from Montreal. In overtime, Ivan Korovo of the Hartford Whalers on a breakaway doesn't score. Montreal wins and goes on. I also think of the fact that the division winners over the regular season didn't advance to a Stanley Cup final this year. So many other things go into the makeup of this game. Yes, the season was extended, and we've had a lot of fun bringing it to you. And I look back and I look forward too. The Pittsburgh Penguins, the Patrick Division. Any of you fans in the 6 cities around the Patrick Division, you have to recognize that it is the best division in hockey. In just a few moments, some very important names are going to roll. Credits, people behind the scenes. I don't know if we'll ever be back together again to do this for you. I certainly hope so. But I want you to pay attention to those names and remember them. They're very talented people. Thanks for the chance to be with you. Mike?
Thank you, Jigs. Great working with you and with that team that has traveled with us during these Stanley Cup finals. He mentioned the Patrick Division, but also teams stand out in my mind who had great years in other divisions. The Detroit Red Wings returned to the prominence that they once enjoyed. We had a new arrival on top of the Smythe Division, and that was the Vancouver Canucks, and they have the looks of a team that might just stay there in a very tough division, too. The New York Rangers with just an outstanding season and won the President's Trophy, even though they ran into a tough Pittsburgh team, and Pittsburgh knocked them out in the second round. I remember back on this year, All-Star Weekend, and I remember it with great fondness for the skills competition, which Sports Channel, interestingly enough, did televise that night. I think I recall best Ray Bourque breaking 4 targets in 4 shots to keep his team, the Wales Conference team, in the running for that little contest. And of all ironies, Mario Lemieux won it, and won about everything else this year. He won the skills competition on a penalty shot against, of all people, Ed Belfour. And I think if you were taking wagers that night, you would have never thought that those would be 2 of the big players in the Stanley Cup Final Series. There was Ray LeBlanc coming over and playing right here in Chicago Stadium and getting his one and only National Hockey League win in his very first game against the San Jose Sharks, and what a marvelous story they turned out to be this year, especially from a marketing standpoint, and a tremendous impact that they've made in the Bay Area. There were names like Fedorov, which we'd heard before, but also Pavel Bure and Igor Kravchuk, who came from a new free Russia. And there may be a new name next year, not a new name in the newspaper headlines, but a new name in an NHL uniform, and we'll watch over the summer to see if Eric Lindros winds up somewhere for next season. I think one of the more touching nights was Larry Robinson making an address to the fans at the Montreal Forum, the final time that he'll come in there as a player, wearing the uniform of the Los Angeles Kings. And an especially touching night at Civic Arena in Pittsburgh when candles were burned on the special memorial night for Bob Johnson. His phrase keeps coming back, and we should not lose sight of the tremendous job that Scotty Bowman did, a guy who had big shoes to fill and really had nothing more to prove by coaching a hockey team, but he took it on anyway and led them right to a championship as Bob Johnson did. It is a great day for hockey, and tomorrow will be a great day for hockey in Pittsburgh, even though no games are going to be played, because they sure played one tonight, and they won it over the Chicago Blackhawks 6-5, swept the series 4-0. We'll miss hockey, but there's just a short summer. Have a great summer, everyone. Good night from Chicago.